Can we talk about what happened on X with all the accounts being exposed for where they're from? Something that people are referring to as a dox, but then again, it's not. It's not doxing. Like it's not like when we know where these people live or then first name and last name without their consent. It's an hilarious situation. I kind of want to examine it because it's just funny. So, anyways, we're told by NPR X's new location feature sparks controversy, but is the data reliable? Well, so far so good. I mean, everything that I've noticed, it was correct. A new feature rolled out on the social media platform X has set off waves of finger pointing by suggesting that many account holders may not be physically located where users assume they are or where they pretended to be located. You know, when you have someone who's pretending to be a blonde, white, young woman with blue eyes who's so into you, and somehow she's looking as a dating platform, she's looking for like, I'm single, are you? It's a guy from Bangladesh. I would say, yeah. Assume. Anyways, late last week, X, which is owned by Elon Musk, added more information to most accounts, including some that could provide clues on where the account user is located. Seeming inconsistency quickly surfaced. An account called MAGA Nation X, that describes itself as a patriot voice for we the people, is labeled as based in Eastern Europe, not EU. I thought they were going to say Pakistan at this point. The handle @American was based in Pakistan. Oh, there you go. I swear I didn't read it. An account used by a person who identifies as a journalist in Gaza now says it's based in Poland and connected via an app in the UK. Of course, it's in the United Caliphate. Obviously, it was going to be. But here's the thing, though. That's fraud. You know, that is fraud. Allegedly. Contact a lawyer for further analysis. Other account holders have not claimed to be in the US or Americans, but they nonetheless appear as part of the American political discourse. Well, you see, when it comes to that, America is the most powerful and most influential country on the planet. So while I do understand the feeling that some Americans have where they say, you're not even from America, why do you care? Although then again, usually when they say that is because the person who is complaining about American politics, they are pushing talking points of the other side, because as long as they push whatever ideas you have, whether it be left-wing or right-wing politics, you will be like, yeah, exactly, bro. Usually that's my experience, but I'm sure there are exceptions to the rule. Regardless, I get the feeling, right? I get the feeling when like you're American and then a foreigner who doesn't even live in America comes to you and tells you, you should be doing this. And you're like, what do you want? You're not even in America. So I get it. And I stand with you if you're someone who thinks this way. With that being said, it is also true that people can express their ideas and opinions about foreign countries, particularly when those foreign countries and whatever they do has an effect on them, whether it be, I don't know, the freaking tariffs from Trump, or whether it be the pushing of the woke nonsense in the media, right? It's originating in America, but it is affecting your country. So you have a right to say, hey, what is this? I disagree, I agree, and that kind of stuff. On a similar note, I noticed that some of the people who say foreigners in other countries shouldn't even speak about American politics are the ones that then complain when they can't present their opinions against, for example, the state of Israel. And you're like, but I'm in America, why can I not? If I can complain about my own government, why am I not allowed to complain about, for instance, the policies or perhaps even military decisions of a foreign country? I should be allowed to say it. Exactly. So how about we say everyone is allowed to say whatever they want? How about we say everyone is allowed and free to use a platform that talks a lot about freedom of speech? Probably not as much as Rumble, but still. I'm on Rumble, by the way. Link in the description. But a platform that talks about freedom and freedom, but well, okay, but then let people, I think people should be allowed to complain and speak about the political aspects of any country, foreign or domestic. However, we should really focus on those people that are pretending to be something they're not. And whether it be Abu in India at that point, or whoever the heck in Poland, or someone in the UK, at that point doesn't matter. So it's the fraud aspect that to me is the important one that we should focus on. And in fact, let me ask this question now that we have addressed this point. How are you even surprised? There is 1.5 billion of them. How are you even surprised? Of course it's going to be India. I mean, China is freaking banned. It's not like the Chinese can do it. So of course it's going to be India. A lot of these are going to be from India, obviously. Now I get it that not every single Indian has access to the internet, but I'm saying, still, of course it's going to be Abu in India. Hello! So, here's the deal. This is a notebook. I'm gonna get a pen, and you could choose any pen. Look, I've got a whole array of pens prepared here just for you. Could go black, red, blue, green, rainbow color. Maybe not rainbow color, but here it is. So I got the pen, and what I'm gonna do is, if you subscribe right now, not tomorrow, not in a year, I'm gonna sign this for you. Look, oh no, I'm not joking. When I do what I say. Look, I'm signing it right here. Signing it. Metatron. Ha! I did it. Signed. For you, Metatron. You subscribed yet? I'm sorry, what? What do you mean how I'm going to give it to you? I never said I was going to give you the notebook. I just said I was going to sign it for you. But don't twist my words now. I'm not a liar. I said I would sign it for you, and I did. You subscribed. That's the end of the deal. Fantastic. Good deal, by the way. You got a great deal. Fantastic deal, if I say so myself. My other question is, how does this connect to, for example, VPN usage? How does the system know that you're using a VPN? Can they recognize it? Or because otherwise that could be a way to circumvent it. So that's another thing that should be considered. America first, data joined. Where is she from? Bangladesh. Of course, it's Bangla freaking Desh. Oh, Bangladesh. Yeah, that's a form of grift. You see, that's a form of grift at that point. You know, people throw around a grifter all the time, which basically means you disagree with me and I don't like it. This is a form of grift at that point. If you're someone and you're pretending to be something you're not, and you're specifically, what they do as well is not that they're sharing what they believe. They're copy-pasting the most viral statements because they know it's going to create engagement. And as we know, engagement from blue ticks generates money. If you didn't know this, there is a monetary incentive to doing this, which makes it into a grift at this point, particularly if you don't believe in it, because that's the whole thing about. Like, one thing is someone who speaks about politics and joins the culture war because they believe in a position and they want to stand for it. That's not a grift, whether they make money off of it or not. But when you do it like this, like a lot of these people, then yes, in that case, it's a grift, because oftentimes they don't even believe it. They're just doing it for engagement. And if you think for a moment, nah, no one is going to do it for grifting, it's not like you can make real money. Yes, you can. Of course you can. I have currently, just to give you an idea, I like being transparent with my things also because it might help some of you anyways. I have 55,000 followers right now on X, which means I post every hour. Sometimes I skip an hour because maybe I'm busy, but generally speaking, I do post about 12 times a day, sometimes 14 times a day, and that generates me about $1,000 a month. The payment is every 2 weeks. So that's me. Imagine accounts who have 10 times, 500,000 followers, the kind of money we are talking. Like, this could indeed become a full-time job and pay more if you have the following than the majority of full-time jobs on the planet. So you can see the allure, particularly considering the fact that the payment is in dollars. And if a lot of people come from economies that are a lot weaker than ours here in the United States, then this could become an easy grift if you get the following and the numbers. And what best way to get the following than to pretend to be someone you're not, particularly because it's targeted towards a certain audience. So I think it's a good feature. Like, I don't even know why people are complaining about it. People are complaining about, oh, but what about our privacy? Privacy, first of all, privacy is an illusion, but there are a lot of it in the current technological era. But regardless, yes, there are some privacies that I will, for privacy features that I will fight for defending. And as much as possible, we should always try to maintain as much personal privacy as possible. With that being said, a lot of it is now unfortunately impossible. And definitely, while again, clearly full-on doxing would be not only immoral and out of place, but in a lot of states and in a lot of countries, it would also be illegal. It would be a crime, a felony. But that's not what's happening here. In fact, in this case, this isn't one of those situations where you should be like, no, this shouldn't happen. You shouldn't know that I'm from wherever. But why? This is my take. If you have nothing to hide, showing where you are posting from, it's not going to impact you in any way, shape, or form. If you have nothing to hide, it's not like they're telling us your city. It's not like they're telling us the area, or, oh, he's posting from an IP nearby this famous hospital. Then I get it. There is a safety concern at that point. But when it comes to letting us know what country you're from, at this point, I'm like, well, why would you want to hide it? If not for reasons that unfortunately may have to do with fraud. and grifting. So at that point, I'm saying show away. In fact, I actually made a post about this that I kind of wanted to show you very quickly. And it's this one, yeah, I was responding to this because this guy was saying, yeah, this location docs, once again, not a docs, is the most insane release on any social media app ever. And people are just letting it happen. Why is this a problem to you? Why is it so important that people don't know where you're based in? In fact, guys, I'm going to show you one thing now. It's going to make your day. You ready for it? Boom. The Church of Satan, ladies and gentlemen, is based in Canada. Of course. Of course we're going to be based in freaking Canada. Man, at this point, either Canada or the UK, but I'm going to say, yeah, of course it's going to be Canada. Nothing against my Canadian fans. I know. You're in the comments. You're like, Metron, last time you made a video about the Waterloo University. I know I'm Canadian. I hate this shit. I get it. We're not all like this. I know. But of course it's based in Canada. The freaking Church of Satan is based in Canada. Profile pic location. Man. Goodness gracious. Indians switching their location to South Asia. What? See, that's one thing that when it comes to me, by the way, I hope this will stop. Probably we won't, but it should at least logically stop those people that do sometimes come to me and tell me, why do you even care about American politics? You're Italian. Stop. Look at my freaking location. I live in America. I immigrated legally. I pay my taxes in America. My wife is American. So of course, I'm interested and involved in American politics. I'm not typing from Italy like some people say. I'm typing from America as a legal resident of the United States. And so can we please stop this whole, oh, I'm going to shame you and I'm going to tell you blah, 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 just because I said something you disagree with? Why people have lost the ability to actually disagree is beyond me. Like they don't disagree in the sense that I think what you're saying now is incorrect and here is why. No, they will have to say, well, you're Italian, you shouldn't speak, which means I'm right, right? Because otherwise, if I was wrong, you would have obviously debunked me. But the fact you don't and you choose this side line of attack demonstrates that it's already a victory before we even engaged intellectually. Oh, that is great. That is great. That's fantastic. Literally, man, you can't trust anything online anyways. You have to double check everything, particularly in the realm of dating. Because we often complain and laugh about like Tinder, where they're like on the profile picture, she looks hot. And then when you meet her, she's like 3 times the size. You know, this is a meme now. And I don't know, maybe you are into that. And if you are into that, that's a bonus for you. But I think for a lot of people, that's not. But when it comes to social media stuff, when you're going to simp, it's not even dating at this point, simping. When you're going to simp over someone because of a profile picture, to a point that some people send money, how do you know she's not like an old dude in a basement? And you think it's a hot blonde woman with, like, for some reason, she's interested in you and your comments. For some reason, she thinks, like, wow, of all the people, you. And then, do these people actually think something is going to come out of it? Like, I don't know. Or is it just for the attention? Like, I'm really, oh my gosh, all these pictures are killing me. I don't even care, guys. I don't care. This is funny. Indians switching their location to South Asia. Come on, guys. This is funny. That's another thing. We lost the ability to have like a little bit of comedy. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is fantastic. Can I participate even though I'm not an American, but at least I'm real because I'm currently in America and plan to stay. But this is great. How it feels to be American on Twitter location data day. Yeah. Get on an eagle. A bald eagle. I know it's a bald eagle. I don't need to see it. Man, that is so funny. Talking about that, actually, I kind of want to connect this to history for a moment. It's not true that I stopped doing history. It's just a YouTube stopped sending you the notification bell. Anyways, there is a connection, actually, something to learn, and it has to do with the gladiators and ancient Rome. And did you see how I saw this? And there is an eagle, and I know it's a bald eagle because, of course, we all know, all of us know that that's the symbol, the sort of mascot animal of America, right? So within the given context, even if the only thing I could see was just a little bit the wings, not the tail, nothing, and someone said, identify the bird, from the context I know exactly it's an eagle. You might think that's obvious, but in 1,000 years from now it won't be. So if someone sees this and they have no way to know that this is a bald eagle, for instance, because they don't know the contextual situation whereby the symbol of America and all that kind of stuff, they might not get it in the future. And then they might see this and think, why is it on a bird? Now, this happens actually a lot in classical antiquity. There are a lot of things that, for instance, as I was saying, one example of this is in gladiatorial games when sometimes when they choose classes and they say like, oh, the Murmillo fights the Retiarius. So the big guy with the shield, the massive helmet, and the sword, Gladius, is fighting the guy with the trident and the net. And I've seen a lot of people who modernly look at this, even when they make videos about it. Gladiator class is explained, as long as it's not AI, that is. And they will tell you, oh, look, it's because it's a form of balancing. So they wanted to have the guy with the net against the heavy guy, light guy versus heavy guy, so the techniques are different. Right, but there is a symbolism to it. There is a symbolism that to ancient Romans would have been absolutely obvious, but it's not obvious to us unless you study the sources. That is the fact that the reason why the Retiarius is fighting the Murmillo is because the Murmillo is a fish. And he is the fisherman. He's the fisherman that is trying to catch a big, monstrous fish. The helmet of the Murmillo represents the Murena. That's what they called it in Latin, the fish. And so that's why it's fighting the Retiarius with a net. It's because the Murmillo is also symbolic of a monster of the sea. Not to mention there is also a connection with mythology and Poseidon, who is the god of earthquakes, and some have speculated that it could represent the rock that the man with the trident, so the Retiarius, is a representation of the god, and when he strikes the shield of the Murmillo, he causes the earthquakes, because maritime earthquakes were another thing that was connected to Poseidon. That one is a little more subtle, but the one whereby it's not just two guys fighting, there is symbolism, and the Romans are imagining it. It's their video game, right? So the Romans are imagining it as, wow, there is an actual fisherman, but he's struggling for his life because he's fighting a sea monster. They saw that. We miss that. And there is a lot goes with that when we look at the past, because the past is literally like going to a foreign country where you don't speak the language and you don't know the customs. And so you will misunderstand a lot of the symbolism. There you go. You got a little dose of history today. Japan hates Xbox is based in Canada. Really. Japan lives in Canada. The sheer amount of accounts being exposed right now is hilarious. It is hilarious. I don't want to keep saying this. It's funny. I don't even care what people... LOL, like I said before, Jude is a fraud pretending he is in Japan. Now, I don't know this account specifically, so it could be someone who is from Japan and moved to Canada, could still say Japan hates Xbox if they wanted to. But then again, it could also be just a Canadian who's pretending to be Japanese just to stir whatever the heck that they think is going to get them views, right? US Department of Homeland Security got outed for being based in Israel? 20 minutes later, X switched off the location feature for security purposes, and once they switched it on again, the DHS was suddenly based in the United States. Can you tell me if this is true or it's nonsense? Because again, this is very easy to fake. Is it real? That would be crazy. Now it says US in lowercase, while all others is US uppercase. Grok, is this true? I mean, not that I trust it. Is in Washington, D.C., per official sources. The X profile briefly showed Israel so it did show it on November 22, 2025, due to a glitch in the... Oh, come on. Can it really be a glitch with Israel of all places? That is insane. My gosh. Ooh, you gotta tell me what you think about this. You have to tell me what you think about this. Are they two different accounts, some people are saying? But then again, maybe they are two different accounts then. But for a moment, I was like, that's insane. But again, I don't just believe it because they say it, of course. I'm just saying if. This guy says they're two different accounts. Right, but why is there an account that has to do... is it Israeli Homeland Security? Do they have the same name? It says DHS, though. Fake screenshot? It could be fake. Oh, it's fake. This is fake news. Okay, stop with the freaking fake news, guys. Location. I always assume, though, that it's fake news. So that's what I did at the beginning. Because you've got, as I said, right? You have to assume it's fake news. But that would have made me think a thing or two. I'll tell you that much. Location was not available on any Great Check account at any point. Oh, okay. Furthermore, the DHS has only shown IPs from the United States since account creation. Okay. Yeah, I wonder. Then this guy says, why is Grok saying it happened? Well, it's AI. People really think that AI never makes mistakes. AI makes mistakes. We haven't created the artificial general intelligence yet, so it does make mistakes. I hate this. It is the stupidest thing ever when people assume, well, the AI said it, the AI is never wrong. Are you not entertained? Is the real question to ask here. Are you not entertained? Where are you from? Let me know where you're from so we can have kind of an idea of the sort of nationalities we got in the community here. Let me know in the comments. Just the nationality, nothing more than that. It'd be cool to see. You can even just put a flag if you want. I love flags. I don't know about you. And pizza.